This is Red Friday. Remember everyone deployed. Last day of the Alliance rally. There was a class on the schedule. Debbie and I looked at each other. We ditched the class. Here's the thing. I grew up in Chicago. When I was a kid, my family took us to the Indiana Dunes. During the late 60s, before the Clean Water Act even existed, the water quality wasn't right. We didn't stay long. I hadn't been back since. Debbie's never been there. Indiana Dunes was an hour away. We went to the dunes. Here's what we found. You can't go to Elkhart without stopping to see the MHRV. Wait. We're at the RV and MH Museum in Elkhart, Indiana right now. We figured you can't go to Elkhart without seeing the museum. It's got a staircase there.
Hi.
Good, how are you? Is recording's okay in here, isn't it? Okay, good.
That's up, buddy. That's a big boy right there. She's okay.
His name is Grizzly.
Oh, that's a good name for him. What kind of dog is he?
Great Pyrenees and Shepherd.
I see it. What a big dog. Oh my goodness.
One senior.
One senior?
One teenager. And one dog.
He's free.
She doesn't like when I call her a senior.
Any military?
No, I'm just old.
So we got an Elkhart 4056. You want to try a treat, buddy?
Oh, he wants to go for the pretty girl.
It scared me.
Yeah, you still have a hand?
He's so sweet. That's exactly how my dog takes it. He just takes the whole hand with it.
He said it's a 7-minute video that tells everything. I think I see an open chair.
All right, everybody, come on in. We're getting ready to go on a covered wagon expedition. And if we hurry, we can make it by sundown. You're going to want to take a seat on the bench right behind you. And make sure you hold on, because things can get a little bumpy on the road. Since we're on the road, I might as well explain to you what's here.
Look at that. Oh, this looks kind of familiar.
This is like my grandparents. Seriously, only theirs was smaller.
A 1955 Spartan Imperial Mansion. This thing's gotta be 50 feet long. This is just a camper, but it's huge.
I don't know how.
How would you tow this?
How does this wood not crack as you're going down the road? You know what I mean?
It's plywood. It's layered. What's really cool about this place, it's dog friendly. So Grizzly's here right at home in all these play boxes.
Yes. He thinks they're all for him.
Yeah. And we thought those were new. That's a bare basic teardrop, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically what it is.
1946. Kill teardrop trailer.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, I thought those were like a
new thing.
A trendy thing, yeah.
Yeah. You couldn't even lay it out in there.
No. We'd tow this for Grizzly. That's super futuristic looking, huh?
It sure is.
I don't know whose future, but it's... You know, back in the day, life was a lot harder. These campers are actually like an upgrade from, I think, general life. Here's house car. We're ending right now on the Daydream, the KYD bus. Hi, Mark and Trish. If you watch our channel, which I doubt. I think the pillows and the interior is awesome. The cushions and stuff, they all say Route 66.
I want a big bus like this.
Yeah, me too. I could see living in this. I just want to drive this thing because of the dashboard. Yeah, it's tight, isn't it?
Very.
It's squatty potty. My goodness. You may as well sit on the floor, huh? This is so cool. That's about the only thing on here not retro, is the solar and the battery pack. Oh, and the fridge. I don't think they make fridges like that. This is nice. It's got a household circuit panel in it. For those of you that don't know, Keep Your Daydream is a YouTube channel. Mark and Trish and their family, they take the Route 66 from end to end in this Bluebird bus, and it's all documented on YouTube. You should watch their series. I can put a link to their series below. But this is almost the whole museum, with the exception of the first intro that we walked into where the Spartan was. Well, we just finished the tour here. What do you think? Was it worth it?
It was worth it. It was really neat.
Yeah, it was cool to see the RVs through history. You know, even if you're not an RV fan or an RVer, this is something interesting to see how this was all built from the stagecoach all the way up to what they're going to put on Mars, probably.
They've come a long way, but yet they're still the same.
Yeah, there's the material changes all through it. You can really see the differences in the years.
And the quality.
Yep. Thank you for coming along with us on this side trip. Indiana Dunes were an hour the other way.
Was it worth skipping the class?
Yes.
Yes.
The park is clean, the beach is good. The dunes are generally worth the drive. But the reason this place matters, the reason it's worth understanding before you go, is what you can see from the waterline. Steel mills, a cooling tower people still mistake for a nuclear plant, the industrial outline of everything that tried to replace this park. I grew up seeing Indiana from across the water in Chicago. Standing on that beach looking back at the Chicago skyline, it lands differently when you know the history. That's worth an afternoon. If you're in the Elkhart area for a rally, a factory tour, passing through on the toll road, the museum is an hour. The Indiana Dunes need a half-day minimum. More if your dog has opinions about the water temperature. The rally itself is a different story. This was our first rally. We were surrounded by every new Alliance model on the market, and we learned some things we didn't expect. We talked about that in this video. If you own an Alliance or you're thinking about buying one, the rally episode is worth watching. Most people driving I-80 through northern Indiana don't know this place exists. Indiana Dunes became the country's 61st national park on February 15th, 2019, one of the newest in the country. 15 miles of Lake Michigan shoreline, 50 miles of trails, nearly 2,000 recorded species. It's considered the fourth most biodiverse national park in the United States. The park itself is clean, the beach is good, but stand at the waterline and look around. That's where the story is. To the west, Gary, U.S. Steel arrived at Lake Michigan in 1905 and built what became the largest integrated steel mill in the United States. 4,000 acres, 7 miles of shoreline. They weren't the only ones. A glass company dismantled a 200-foot sand dune called the Hoosier Slide, took it apart completely for raw material. The entire southern shore of Lake Michigan was being consumed by industry. What you're standing on today exists because a botanist, a school teacher named Dorothy Buell, and an Illinois senator named Paul Douglas spent 40 years organizing to stop it. The National Lake Shore was established in 1966. Then came the nuclear plant. In 1970, a utility company called NIPSCO applied to build a 685 megawatt nuclear reactor right next to the park. They called it Bailey Nuclear 1. The community fought back and discovered that NIPSCO had falsified their own site maps. Entire towns had been removed from the documents to make the site look more remote than it actually was. The reactor was never built. The large structure you can see at the shoreline near Michigan City, that's not a nuclear plant. It's the Michigan City Generating Station, a coal-fired plant built in 1950. People mistake it for nuclear this day. The water quality in this stretch of Indiana shoreline had real issues for decades. Bacteria advisories, industrial runoff from rivers feeding into the lake. Before the Clean Water Act of 1972, industries dumped directly into those waterways with no regulation at all. That's what we walked into in the late 1960s. Cleanup has been slow, the fight is still ongoing. U.S. Steel spilled toxic chromium into park waterways in 2017. A cyanide spill killed thousands of fish 2 years after that. But the park itself, the dunes, the beach, the trails, that part's good. Standing there, you've got clean sand under your feet, Chicago 40 miles across the water on a clear day, and smokestacks on the horizon behind you. One of the stranger views in any national park in this country. And it makes complete sense once you know what it took to save it. The water was 55 degrees. Nobody was swimming. Grizzly didn't get the memo. For a large dog in a national park, the beach worked. The day worked. Now I gotta get Debi's shoes too. We're gonna knock off another park. Indiana Dunes National Park.
It was very pretty.
It was.
It was a beautiful day to go there. Wish we could have stayed a little longer, but we had to get back to the rally.
Yes, last day, final meal. One more done.